All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers in today's video. We actually have the cut deadline in about 4 hours from the time of this recording. Green Bay's actually made a couple of moves. Specifically this morning, they cut Anders Carlson. I think Greg Joseph really showed us in that final preseason game, nailing both of his field goals. One of them was, 55 yards. Anders Carlson just kind of really hurt us last season, specifically when it mattered, aka against the San Francisco 49ers, and just big time moments in general. And granted, he was a rookie, but I think most Packers fans, we don't have time to develop a young rookie sophomore kicker. All right, so they went with Greg Joseph. And another move Green Bay made yesterday was they traded for Malik Willis, which when I saw this, I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought it was a joke, and I mean that in a good way. I think this helps you out more than a lot of people think. Andy Herman wrote a great article about this. Green Bay, we face Jalen Hurts, we face Anthony Richardson. We play these guys early on in the season. I think having Malik Willis as your backup QB, it's going to give you really good preparation for going up against these young stud quarterbacks that are extremely dynamic, extremely versatile, and can change the game with their feet. So just another example of Jeff Hafley in this new Green Bay Packers defense that I think is going to be probably easily top 10. But welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about Malik Willis, the kicker, the team in general. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Packers fans, we can try and get this video to 100 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. So this summer, our backup QBs, Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt. Once again, yesterday, we traded a 7th-round draft pick to the Tennessee Titans for quarterback Malik Willis, a 3rd-round pick from the 2022 NFL Draft. This is perfect because, first off, by the way, that 7th-round pick, Malik most likely could have / maybe he would have been cut by the Tennessee Titans. And yeah, maybe the Green Bay Packers could have not given up a 7th-round draft pick, but that's just kind of the business of the waiver wire or cut day. They want Malik Willis. They don't want another team to get Malik Willis. So they cough up a 7th-round pick. The good news for Packers fans who are worried about giving up a 7th-round pick is that's going to be hopefully extremely late in the draft. Hopefully one of, if not the last pick in the entire draft. Long term, I think Malik Willis, obviously we have Jordan Love. The only downside, we'll talk about the cons in just a second here because Zach Cruz wrote a great article. I think it was on Packers Wire. I don't remember what website it was, but he wrote a great article giving pros and giving some cons. And, is Malik Willis a type of guy where if Jordan Love has to miss a football game, is he, I don't feel the best about him coming in here and winning that game. But the good news is if he does end up picking up this offense, I think he would be a phenomenal fit in Matt LaFleur's offense. Vertical passing attack, run action. Obviously, Jordan Love is the long-term quarterback, so now you have some time to develop your backup QB in Malik Willis. He also had a really good preseason this year, 20-27. He ran for over 100 yards. He had a couple of big-time plays. He was 2 for 2 on passes of 20 or more yards. He had 4 runs of 10 or more yards. So, who knows? Maybe that development is starting to really ramp up from his work this past summer. And then, obviously, like we kind of started this video off, he's extremely athletic. And this is what we got from Andy Herman. You face Jalen Hurts right away. You face Anthony Richardson very early on in the season. So I just think having this dude, as that backup QB for our defense, before you go up against Jalen Hurts, before you go up against Anthony Richardson, I think it just gives you, a much better sense of confidence of, what you could be seeing, read and react. It just gives you an extra sense of preparation. Now, obviously, there are cons here. He's only played in 11 regular season games. He's actually only attempted 65 passes. So, as far as Jordan Love needs to miss an important game, is Malik Willis the guy who's going to come in here and you feel comfortable and confident about winning that job or winning that game? Not necessarily. He did lose the backup job to Mason Rudolph in Tennessee, but the thing is, Mason Rudolph's a really good, experienced NFL veteran quarterback. Like, he won the last 3 games for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers would not have made the playoffs if it wasn't for Mason Rudolph, because Mr. Mitchell Trubisky, that we have plenty of experience with, he was just absolutely horrid. So Mason Rudolph won some big-time games as the 3rd-string quarterback. So Malik losing the job to Mason Rudolph, that's not necessarily a con to me. Once again, though, he is entering year 3, so he is going to be more of a developmental piece. In his limited experience in the regular season, he's only completed 53% of his passes. He's only averaged 5.3 yards per attempt. He's also thrown 0 touchdowns, and he's had 3 interceptions, but he has had 8 missed tackles forced on 32 attempts. But then, unfortunately, he's also fumbled 4 times. So I'm really curious. By the time this video comes out, roster cut day might even be over, and we're going to know, if Michael Pratt / Sean Clifford, we're going to see if either of those 2 quarterbacks even end up making this roster. And, who knows, maybe Green Bay could go out there and, pick up a Ryan Tannehill or something like that, although I would believe that's extremely unlikely. But as far as that, man, this wide receiver room, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, it's extremely deep. Bo Melton had a nice little touchdown catch in our preseason finale against Baltimore. I think Malik Heath is going to make this roster. I don't want to talk too much about it because, once again, by the time this video comes out, you'll probably know that answer there. Josh Jacobs, extremely dynamic, 3 years younger than Mr. Aaron Jones. You still have A.J. Dillon, and then don't forget, in our back pocket, we got Marshawn Lloyd, the rookie, who's been banged up for the entire summer here. Offensive line-wise, I do feel really good. But let's move real quick to this defense because, folks, this defensive line is nasty. Rashawn Gary, TJ Slayton, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, Lucas Van Ness, who had a phenomenal preseason opener. He's poised for a breakout sophomore campaign. This was a middle-of-the-pack first-round pick 1 year ago. You got Devontae Wyatt, Carl Brooks, Kingsley Ngabari there. Linebacker room, Quay Walker, Isaiah McDuffie, Cooper, Hopper. Love both of those 2 kids. I think Hopper had a really good preseason finale game against Baltimore. Eric Stokes, cornerback number 2, right next to Mr. Jair Alexander. Folks, Eric Stokes was catching interceptions left and right the entire summer. If this dude can stay healthy, once again, another one of these former first-round picks. On paper, I haven't gotten the new Madden since like Madden 20, unfortunately. I would love to play as this defense. I wonder what they're rated defensive because, folks, on paper, man, Carrington Valentine, Anthony Johnson, Corey Ballantyne, Keyshawn Nixon, and then your new safety room consists of new addition Xavier McKinney, Javon Bullard, who I think had a really good preseason. He's ready to go. He's ready to start week 1. And then right behind him is Mr. Evan Williams, who also had a phenomenal preseason. And that guy just seems like he's going to make big-time plays in his limited opportunities. But the point is, it's going to be really hard for Jeff Hafley to keep Evan Williams off of the field. So I feel really good. We still have, 10 days until our first game. But I did like that Malik Willis trade and the Ander Carlson cut. I think we all saw coming. It really sucks. But hopefully Greg Joseph can provide us some type of stability, especially when we get into the playoffs. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I want to hear from you down below. Give me a grade rating on Malik Willis trade to the Green Bay Packers.